Alright, so my thoughts that are on my mind right now. Every time I think, and I have reached many new levels of not caring, but not in a bad way, like being relaxed and anxiety free. New levels every day these days. But I always realize I'm still can do more, and it's the last little thing about just trusting and relaxing. So you have to have lived enough life experience, be it 10,000 lifetimes or 5 lifetimes or 1 lifetime, to figure out some things. However they are, you want to word them. This is how I want to word it. Source energy, the universe, infinite intelligence, the moving image of eternity, the holographic consciousness, God, that we are. It knows what you want as far as you are a seemingly separated portion for the thing we're doing, right? It knows what you want. Every trillion billion second, or whatever that number, the biggest number you can think of, it knows what you want to that. It just knows. You change your mind and do this, or that. It knows exactly what you want. Why? It is you. It's you. It's the bigger part of you, and it's been you, and it's still you, but you're a little portion, like a little extension out there. But the bigger part of you, which is still you, been watching you this whole time, knows all your thoughts, knows everything, knows what you really think. You might think you like this, and this, but the universe knows no, they do not. And now we're gonna have to take at least 3 years to get them around to the point to where they can even think about maybe this other thing, which is what they really want. The universe knows. Or you could be someone who knows what you want. Like you're aligned. Like universe is like, yep, that's what you want. All right, just get right in there. But most people don't know, or is a mixed bag or something like that. But that doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter what you know. To the extension, fuck you, the extension. The human body. No, not really. But the universe knows anyway, and it's infinitely amended every fucking second. It changes a little bit, even if you don't know what your tastes are changing. The universe knows your tastes are changing. It knows ahead of you by a billion times. It just you can't get it wrong. Can't. Impossibility. Cannot get it. Knows so well. It's probably sick of knowing so well about what you want, watching you go the other way. So, really, literally, getting the living life experience to figure that out for a real truth for you, that you can just trust and relax, and you don't have to. If something happens, you don't immediately have to act a certain way. You know that whatever's happening needs to happen however it's happening. You know that 100%, and no one can tell you otherwise. This is the belief you need to get. And it takes a lot of life experience because, and on top of that, you might have it for a day, and then for a week don't have it anymore, and then for 2 days have it, and then for a week don't have it anymore. You know what I mean? It cycles in and out. You don't just have it. That's how most things go anyway. So you finally get a continuation, some continuity to your now moment with that kind of knowing. It's a real accelerator of your preferred life experience of changing. But by that time, you really understand that. You can understand why, because it's all about your belief, and that's why you just can't understand that. That you just shut up and relax. The universe knows exactly what you want. Anything that's happening in your life needs to happen, and you just don't understand. And it's gonna be a while of you not understanding. Then you're not understanding is gonna go a little. It's gonna slowly dwindle down until finally you reach a lifetime to where you're like, oh, however way it happens. But that's the thing to get, and it really is true. It knows exactly what you want. So here I am. My practice now that I'm practicing most days is just that knowing that, and realizing that it is, of course, about the feeling, how it feels. You want to focus on that feeling. If anything, what you should be doing is focus on that feeling and figuring that out. The universe can handle the rest. Everything. It might throw you 3 tragedies in a year. And you're like, fuck this shit. Fuck the universe. Fuck the universe. This happened, this happened, this one. Fuck the universe. But really, universe is knowing. We know. We know what you want. We're guiding you to it. When you get there, you're gonna be like, you're gonna look back, and that's the moment you look back and go, oh, that's why that happened. Oh, That's why that didn't work out. Oh, that's why that didn't work out. Oh. You know? It's like, so it really was always knowing. And then you get that belief, and now you know too. So it's like the extension is becoming more source like, right? It's like you're melding. You're not so separate anymore. Separate as in quotation. You can't ever really separate. Yeah. And then it all just rolls back around, and there you go. So try to get. And it's like, no one told me to learn this. I had a life experience where I eventually thought something else was going on in the world, and I started looking up all kinds of shit trying to figure it out. And I ended up on heavily, after years, Abraham Hicks, Bashar, Daryl Anka, Terence McKenna. All the ones I always say. Richard Feynman. Of course, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison. But the main ones that I listened to for hours, tried it, it's Terence McKenna, Abraham, and Bashar, Daryl Anka, Esther Hicks, or Abraham. Hours. And, when am I talking about this again? Me listening to them? So I had the life experience that just led me down this. No one say, hey, you create your own reality, do this, that, blah, 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 blah. No, I just found it out on my own, right? And it took many years because I'm very logical and I had to test it out. I couldn't just believe this shit. Many years hiding it and all that shit. And then finally, here I am now, is where I'm at now, and I'm practicing remembering, getting the cycle thick in my now moment that universe knows what's going on. Something happens at work that would normally would make me feel a certain way, now does not. Does not. And if it does not last very long at all because my thought structures will not allow it. They jump on that shit fast. They're like, what are you doing, man? And I'm like, oh yeah. Relief, right? Closer to source. It means the same thing. It's all energy play and relativity and perspective, momentum, cycles. So that's where I'm at now. And I'm pretty good at it. The moments where I don't know it are becoming few and far between. And then when that happens, my thought structure isn't allowed to stay. I can tell my belief. I can tell that I'm already past the point where finally, blank slated enough, structures and beliefs enough life experience enough, knowledgeable about enough, and then boom, my physical reality finally starts to catch up with how I've been feeling on the inside and what I know on the inside. And it always was showing me that it was correlated, but now it's finally starting to catch up. Like someone was like, oh shit, we only have the door 90% open. Hit the fucking button, open it up. You know what I mean? It's my reality starts changing. Little things here and there, little slightly different things here and here. And now while it's happening, still things that are unwanted, or what I think should be a different way by now, are still happening, But most of the time now, I think, and I know. Sometimes I don't think, I just know. When I don't know, then I think it's all working out. I've had enough life experience. Went through enough shit. So much shit you don't know. To know that all that shit happened for a reason, it's all working out because here I am. I mean, I could just look back and that's why that happened. So I know. So when it does come up, it doesn't deviate me from my source connection very long, if at all. Which is fucking great. Because that means I can stay in alignment and I can stay keeping my reality catching up to my inner feeling even faster and faster and faster and faster. Because apparently, I'm here to show what you can do, the switch you can flip when you connect to source energy and you figure out who you really are instead of doing it all the other ways that there are how to do it. Good ways and bad ways. All the other ways. You can think of a million of them. Take all those, put them aside. That's one game. And then step out of that game, step into this game, and it's about focus and everything I've been saying all the time. And so when my humans, the densities, they they're not gonna really look at you any different until something happens in your life they think it's like a thing. Like maybe say you win the lottery or something like that, right? Then they're like, oh, okay, he won the lottery. He's talking about all this stuff, and he happens to win the lottery, and he's set for life. Okay, then they'll be listening. It'll take something like that. Well, that's what's gonna happen. I'm probably not gonna win the lottery because I don't care about that. But who knows? Who cares? Give a shit. My life is gonna change enough in any kind of way, whichever way it is meant to, for people to be like, huh, maybe I'll look into it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. The universe gets a little claw into you. Maybe I'll look. And if you look into it and then if you decide, no, that's still all it took. Now it's in there. Bam. Don't gotta worry about it anymore. But I went on a gung-ho like I do everything else in my life. When I learned to draw art, pencil sketching and stuff like that, or when I learned tennis, or when I learned to swap the motor in my Mazda, or fucking acrobatics and tricking and flipping and all that kind of stuff. Whatever. I get all into it. I pick up my line and I just want to do it. And at this time, it happened to happen with reality creation. So I'm on that course right now, and I always learn what I learn. I always get into something and I learn it, and I did it, and I learn it good, and I learn it fast, and that's what's happening here. I have a belief system lodged into me that's not going anywhere that says I always learn everything fast. I may start slow, depending on what it is, for a while, but before you know it, I will hit an asymptotic curve. Whoop, and I'm gone. And I knew that before I got into this stuff. So I knew when I got into this stuff, if it was real, that I would actually do it for real, and I wouldn't. I'm like Terrence McKenna in that way. People look at him like a whimsical guy, but he was real kind of scientist. He was, prove it to me kind of guy. Logical. He was, and all this stuff he's talking about is crazy. It happened to him, so he's got to, if it happens to you, but he wasn't, and I'm kind of that way. I went through years of learning and checking and trying and doing, and I don't know about this shit. But for me, it worked out to be actually true. And say even this is the case, even if it's not true and I got it wrong, let's say that, I'm still feeling better, doing better, making more money, spending less money. I'm healthier, I'm sexier, I'm more talented. Everything's getting better, faster and faster every day. So even if all this stuff isn't true, what I'm saying, it's still helping me out in some kind of amazing way, right? If you just even count that. But it's true. And you do create your own reality. You do. We all do. I mean, but if you don't believe it, then you're getting a reality that reinforces a reality that doesn't say that to you, because you're creating your own reality. So you can't be mad at people for not knowing. I remember not knowing, and going through many years to finally get to an actual knowing, and it's a fucking ordeal. So we have these people like me and other people who really did it, and are, always try to come back and be like, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, this is what's going on. Hey, do this, try this. Hey, follow your bliss. Joseph Campbell, so many people. But when you're in the dance, you just you don't even run across. I lived most of my life never hearing about any of this stuff because I didn't believe it. I was a very rigid, real life guy. Someone tell me anything is possible, like, yeah, right. Jump over that house, see? Proved it, right? That was me. Never heard of any of these people. They didn't come into it until I started doing drugs. All of a sudden, it opens up your mind a little bit. Drugs is a bad word. The right ones, not all drugs, obviously. And everyone knows what I'm talking about. Because I didn't believe it. I didn't even think about it. So it wasn't in my reality, because you're creating your own reality. Alright? But you're also seeing your own reality and reacting to your own reality and then getting beliefs from the reality you created. You do a redundant kind of thing that gets you trapped. But you always make it out. No one hasn't ever made it out yet. I'm not sure that's true. But we're here forever, so it doesn't matter. There is no time. So what does it matter? It doesn't matter. What's a billion years to someone who's been alive for a billion times that? Or a trillion times that? a trillion, whatever number you can think of. There's nothing. A billion is just like fucking yesterday to that kind of consciousness. So it's all relative. So we just want to, like, at least try to give back. But I know I can tell I'm moving into the belief system where I don't have to try so hard to teach this anymore. Just me vibrating, just me being alive. It helps the earth out enough for source energy to be very pleased. Source energy as in my inner being, that I am accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish when I came down here. And all I gotta do is do my focus work. It just so happens when I'm feeling really good and it's proven itself to me and I'm figuring out more and more that I do want to teach people. It just so happens. I don't have to, though. I know I could just go off in a cave somewhere and do the work and the earth would still be benefited. So I'm really cultivating that belief in me because it frees me up. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. And then what happens when you feel like you don't have to? All of a sudden you want to do stuff. It's kind of weird. Kind of the reverse of the kind of similar thing where if you're going to do something and someone tells you to do it, you're kind of like, ugh, I definitely don't want to do it. But why? This is what my thought process would be in my head. Why? It makes no sense. Just fucking do it. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Because you're going to do it anyway. But you know what that is. It's like, why? Some kind of like energy kind of thing. That's what it feels like to me. But anyway, why was I talking about that? I don't know. I think that's all I got for this one. 16 minutes. What time is it? I still got some time. I'm actually on my lunch break at work. No, I don't think there's anything left. I think that's it. So, you create your own reality. Shut the fuck up. Figure it out. They're coming to get me. No, just kidding. You're already... If you're on the planet that is capable, and you're capable of viewing me through the internet or however, especially if you live in my city or in my local life, you are on the new earth. So fucking relax. Everyone's working way harder than I have to, but it is about your beliefs, and we do like variety still. So you're still gonna be able to fuck yourselves over pretty good, even though you're on a new earth. It's just that everyone has the potential, way more potential to get out of it now. But still lots of people won't. And what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Or you just try to teach it, and there's really nothing you can do. It really isn't. You lead a horse to water, and she really cannot make it drink, kind of thing. All right.